the cleanup and bring life to normal as quickly as possible.
Now, if you read around, evidence suggests that floods were recorded in May of 1950, in June of 1954, in July of 1968, in June of 2010, where 35 people were killed, in November of 2011, where 14 people died. Now, the floods have often been recorded, as we all know, in the same areas. So we know where they happened. How have we tackled them since?
People say it was the flood, but it was not the flood that killed people. Yes, some people died from the water, but it was the fire which killed people. Why did the fire kill people? One, because people had congregated in the area for shelter. So when you look at the problem as a whole, it's very difficult to say who is to blame. Is it the person who threw rubbish in the gutter, which caused it to be blocked? Is it the fact that the seals on the filling station tanks were not secure so fuel could come out? Is it the people who were smoking and threw the match in the fire which started the ignition? Was it the lack of public shelter?
If I have to talk about what we recommended, I should also talk a little bit about what we saw as the cause of the flooding. We saw as number one, that the Odo channel, which has been designed to take flow, was highly silted. So it means the capacity to convey that large volume of flow was not there. Instead of taking water, it was taking refuse, and more or less 3/4 of the drain was full. We saw that buildings were also located in the waterways around the flood-prone areas in Circle. And then finally, we saw that the filling station at Circle that day,
right across the road,
right across the road, was a little bit careless in protecting their property.
On a scale of 1 to 10, the recommendations you made, how many of them have been implemented? Where would you peg the amount of work which has been done?
Some are short-term, some are long-term. Those short-term, I should say at least up to 6 on the scale have been done on the short-term. But the long-term, most of them have not yet been.
One would have thought that for an incident that shocked the nation's conscience like this, it shouldn't take us a whole year for the citizens to even access the report. So we can all feed on the recommendations. Because for me, Accra's flooding is a heavily researched area. I mean, get online. Is so many. The problems is known by everybody who wants to know. So with the recommendations that the committee made is what we are interested in. Is what we want to latch on and hold state institutions accountable. He had indicated that they made several recommendations to the MPA. We at the Bureau of Public Safety, for instance, we want to know what sort of recommendations were made to the MPA so we can monitor, so we can get NPA to set up.
Free side and when I'm Wabiana.
Oh, peace of more and then so government is so free. I'm a bit might be away. Say, yeah, I can almost free and I'm away.
O ma be ya sado na ba na mai government dey no
bidiaba
o diaba
bidiaba ba yen so so chane aba beji
o se o chana na ma beji
na ya ba hon na ya be ya do ya na mo kan sisi a
it say we fie 1 year so no me nya adwuma ye me gran kola so miensa a me office sisi a me driver ni me tibi and drive bi me office sisi a
I was serving Ghana, my society herbal group, that very day. I say I've suffered for nothing. If I should have died, but all is in the hands of God. Promises upon promises, we are seeing nothing. When are Ghanaians going to change their attitude and live by their words with immediate action? Immediate help should follow.
Oh, David, young cousin, to an uncle, Amy or Cotra. The victims were registered, their names were written, and then I can account that 160 dead persons were recorded, and we have so far made payment. Today's payment is the third batch. Now those who were physically challenged were asked to come today for their compensation. Now the deceased or the dead, they were given 10,000 Ghana cedi, and then those who were physically, affected were also given 10,000 Ghana cedis. So if really you were registered, your name was written, now it will come to your turn. All that you have to do is to come to AMA for us to know that your name is there. Now we don't do it alone. We do that in consultation with the doctors at the various hospitals where the victims were sent to. So if you have your name with us and your name is not with the hospital, then the likelihood that you are going to be paid is zero. Because we know what Ghanaians can do.
Please go ahead.
We know what some people can do. Now we went to 37 to find out the actual list and compare with the names we had with us in the office. Now the names were all right, but some people who didn't even register went to the 37 hospital trying to see the men there so that they could include their names. So it is not something that is just there easy for you to get a name. First of all, you must be registered. You must be a victim, and then your name should be with the hospital and with AMA. So those of you who are here who have not received anything, we are asking you that come to AMA and then find out if your name is there. You'll be paid. You will be paid. You will be given something. All those who have so far received some assistance, they had 10,000 Ghana cedi. So if you're also affected, I'm assure you, come to AMA. Let's find out if really you were registered. You will also be compensated.
I don't know, 100 million TV money for now. What would inside my life? But we are in a team phantom, and there's some come out and come out. I didn't tell you, Casso, and that's why you're body. But we are here, but the theatre. Me and the video survive. And to me, never survive. Yes, survive. Me did over Casso. And you need to put us on. The picture here. But some like to smell a picture. What 250 million?
Still, there are some dead bodies at the various hospitals where their families could not, detect that they are their own family. There's about 50 or 60 dead bodies yet to be claimed by their families. So please, we are appealing to the public that if you have not registered, please, let's come to the AMA, let's find out, we'll go to the various hospitals, and then we'll find the truth of the whole thing, and then you'll be compensated. You'll be given